I know you feel it. Lost, confused, frustrated. There are so many things that you could do that the best option seems to be to just give up and let it roll over you like a wave. I felt that. I still feel that sometimes. You can try to fill the hole with more content, more learning, with figuring it out, but the more you consume, the emptier you'll feel. I want to tell you a story about a time in my life where I had everything, purpose and direction, and then suddenly that was all taken away from me. I felt lost and confused, and I had to build back up from the start. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't figure it out in a week or a month. It took me a whole year before I implemented the one thing that brought clarity to my life, the thing that I'm going to share with you in this video. So if you feel lost, if you feel confused, all that I ask is that you watch to the end of this video. Because if somebody had told me this a year ago, it could have completely changed everything. Let's begin. Okay, so here's what happened. I'm going to take you back to May of 2024. I was 15 years old and I had just accomplished my dream life. I found surfing, and with it a passion and purpose that I had never experienced before. I felt truly alive, real fulfillment in everything that I did. I can still remember that feeling of hopping on my e-bike, cruising down through the streets of the town, arriving to the beach and seeing the waves upon the horizon and just being flooded with this immense feeling of freedom and passion unlike anything I had ever experienced before. I was making these YouTube videos which added another layer of fulfillment on top of surfing almost every single day, experiencing one of the most fulfilling times in my entire life. But then, in the blink of an eye, it was all taken away from me. We had to leave California, leave the beach, and with that, I had to leave the strongest part of who I was, what made me me. I lost the most central part of who I was in surfing, and it took me a very long time to come to grips with that. I tried to fill the void with content, with learning, but the more I consumed, the emptier I felt. It was this never-ending cycle of feeling lost, feeling empty, trying to fill that void with consumption, with more knowledge, and because of that, just spiraling into feeling more lost, more confused. I searched for my direction in consumption instead of creation, and this cycle went on for months. I went from one of the happiest, most fulfilling times in my entire life to feeling completely lost and empty. And the worst part was I didn't even know what to do to fix it. Then I started doing one thing that completely shifted my entire life. I started pushing myself physically, just like I had done with surfing. See, with surfing, it had been my core, my center that everything else was built on top of. And it was a physical center. It was a place where I could go and challenge my body as well as my mind. And so everything else felt easier and more fulfilling because of that. And so when I had to move away from California, I lost that center and everything else came falling down on top of that. And it was only when I brought back that physical challenge in lifting weights that everything started to fall into place again. I found my sanity within the struggle. It wasn't for the pursuit of external validation or how people would perceive me if I had a good-looking body. It was the foundation that everything else could be built on top of. A place where I could challenge my mind alongside my body. A place where I didn't have to guess or wonder if it was working. I could just do it and feel clarity because of that. I just found my freedom in the weights, my foundation, my center. There's a saying, the iron never lies. It became a source of clarity in a world of confusion. Everything else I'd be wondering about or overthinking or guessing, but this was the one thing that I could return to find my center, to find my clarity, and then everything else became simpler because of that. It was a place where I didn't have to guess, I just knew. So I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. You cannot think your way to clarity, you cannot consume your way to clarity. That's like trying to paint a picture of something far away. The only way you're going to gain more detail, more clarity, is by moving closer, by taking the action and walking towards it. Think of your self-development journey in levels, like a video game. You cannot make progress on a level 5 problem until you have first mastered the level 1 problems. Your body, physical challenge, that's level 1. Direction, creativity, purpose, all those things that come after it, those are the level 5 problems. But you cannot try and tackle those or even be successful in them until you have mastered all the levels before that. And if you haven't mastered the foundation, you'll only struggle at those higher levels. You'll search for the answers in more content, more consumption, which will only make the journey harder. In my life, physical challenge has become the foundation that everything else can be built on top of. But as soon as I stop working out, as soon as I stop surfing or skiing, whatever challenges my body and my mind, everything else comes toppling down on top of that. Action teaches faster than content ever will. The only way that you're gonna gain true clarity, true direction in your life is if you go out and take real action, gather real data for yourself on your own personal experiences, because after all, that is the most important part. If you're watching all this content, yes, it may motivate you, it may point you in the right direction even, but if you're not doing the things that show you where you, personally, yourself need to go, then you could be moving in the complete wrong direction. The plan is always going to change once you gather new information, and new information comes from action. So stop optimizing and start doing. You have to get out there, get messy, find your insight through the action. So if I could go back and speak directly to my 16-year-old self, I would tell him to put the phone down right now. Close the lid, hit the power button, throw it across the room if you have to, slam it down, whatever it is, even before the end of this video, and move. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be anything actually, you just have to go. Get out of your head, do something physical, and bring clarity to your life. Stop letting life roll over you, take action, and ride the wave. You got this.